My name is Marie Benedict, and I am the co-author of Secrets of Lovelace Academy, along with my wonderful co-author, Courtney Sheinmel. The Secrets of Lovelace Academy is a historical adventure about a brilliant young British orphan, Lainey Phillips, who gets recruited to attend the prestigious Lovelace Academy, where bright young women and girls are allowed and encouraged to study in their respective fields, which was a rarity for the time period. Lainey finds herself a little bit like a fish out of water in Lovelace Academy, and this sense forces her to want to prove herself. This leads to an adventure that takes her across Europe and has her encountering another brilliant scientist, a physicist, one of the very first women in a physics program, a university physics program in Europe, a woman by the name of Mileva Marish Einstein. Yes, she was married to Albert Einstein, but she was brilliant in her own right and had important contributions to make, which Lainey learns and helps with. I'm going to read to you today an excerpt from the moment at which Lainey encounters the headmistress to Lovelace Academy for the very first time. Lainey sat on the ground against the wall at the Holsapels orphanage. A few pebbles and broken off bits of brick had been swept off to the side during the big cleanup. She picked up a small, dark, round rock and a big, misshapen piece of brick. The tiny rock slipped between her fingers and fell to the ground. "Oops, gravity," she said to herself as she picked it up again. The law of gravity had been in a chapter in a science textbook donated to the Holsapels orphanage. A few hundred years ago, the scientist Sir Isaac Newton had watched an apple fall out of a tree. He'd thought about what made it go down instead of going sideways or up or even floating in place. The answer was gravity. The textbook had gone on to explain that if you drop two different things at the exact same time, say a small coin and a large boulder, they'd hit the ground at the same time. Gravity affected them in the same way, despite their different weights. Just like the pebble and the broken bits of brick in Lainey's hands. She held them out both in front of her and let go. Smack! They hit the ground at the exact same time. Lainey picked them up again. What if she threw the pebble, but only the pebble with more force, and simply dropped the piece of brick? With one hand, she threw the pebble, and with the other, she let go of the brick at the same time. Smack, smack! First the pebble, then the brick, an instant later. "Did those rocks do something to you to deserve that?" a voice asked. Lainey gasped and looked up. An older woman stood above her. She had silver hair, puffed into a bun, not a strand out of place. She wore a simple yet elegant dress with ropes and ropes of necklaces around it. There was an ivory lace on the collar and the cuff with a bejeweled brooch in the shape of a horse. Were those red and green stones real rubies and emeralds? If so, Lainey knew that the brooch was worth more money than she'd seen in her lifetime. Times 10, maybe times 100. The Holsapels had a strict rule about being respectful to guests at the orphanage open house. Lainey scrambled to stand. "I'm terribly sorry, ma'am," she said. "I didn't know anyone was watching." "There's nothing for you to apologize for," the woman said. "I should apologize to you for startling you. I've been known to throw things now and then myself, particularly when I'm frustrated. Once I was working on something that wasn't going well. I wadded up a piece of paper into a tight ball and threw it towards the door just as my husband was coming in. You'd think a piece of paper would be fairly harmless. Not if you throw it with force," Lainey started, but then she stopped herself. "Oh my, I apologize again for interrupting you." "Again, no apology needed," the woman said. "And you said precisely what I was about to say. If you throw it with enough force, even a piece of paper can become a weapon." It knocked my husband in the forehead. He stumbled into the door frame and he had a bump on the back of his noggin for a week. "Wow," Lainey said. "He must have been really angry." Not at all. Years of marriage have taught him better than to open my office door without knocking. He did so at his own risk. The woman smiled. Her teeth were straighter and whiter than any teeth Lainey had seen before. Lainey kept her lips closed when she smiled back. What about you? The woman asked. What's frustrating you right now? As if Lainey could tell this woman, this stranger, the truth about everything that was frustrating her. I was just doing an experiment, Lainey said instead. Kind of like what you were talking about with that balled up piece of paper. Please go on, the woman said. Well, objects of different weights fall at the same speed and hit the ground at the same time because of gravity, the woman said. Lainey said, and the woman nodded. But if you add force to one of them, it falls faster. I'm impressed, the woman said. Did the teachers here teach you that? They gave us book to read, but in one of the books I read was a science textbook. Lainey said, careful to conceal the truth with lying. She didn't want to get in trouble because they had no teachers. There was a lot of information about different discoveries by people like Sir Isaac Newton and Galileo Galilei. I noticed that the scientists were all men, but they were still interesting. The woman chuckled. Men do manage to come up with interesting things now and again. What's your name? Lainey, she said. Well, lady, it's a pleasure to meet you, the woman said. So you like reading about science? I like reading about anything, Lainey said. But science is one of my favorites. If you know how things work, you know why things happen. Precisely, the woman said. With all that reading you do, you must know a lot. Lainey shrugged. Some people here, they think I'm, a know-it-all. But the more I read, the more I find out, and the more I realize how much I don't know. And that makes me want to learn more. This is the moment when everything changes for Lainey Phillips. I hope you open up the pages of the Secrets of the Lovelace Academy yourself and join Lainey on her adventure to meet Mileva Marish Einstein and to unlock the secrets of the Lovelace Academy.